Audrey, who is our medical honoree for Lake County Walk. She's the owner and therapist at Simply Be, and combines over 10 years of clinical experience with her business background to help others improve mental health, including anxiety, perfectionism, and performance. I might need to sign up for a counseling session based on that description. Audrey, I know you have some great information to share with us, so I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so thank you. I'm honored to be here for a second here, and I was really impacted by the statistic that in the last 7 days, 100 people have reported having significant pain at a pain level of 5 out of 10. I know that my own father-in-law has experienced this, being a builder and a woodworker, and has really experienced this impacting his life. So I'd like to share a little bit more about why this is so important to consider mental health to be a medical honoree and a medical issue. Frequent concerns around being left out of family events and anxiety and depression have significantly impacted the population with arthritis. And just 1 year, there's been an increase of 62% people last year saying that they have experienced anxiety. It's up to 88% this year. And last year, 66% of people had reports of depression and are now at 76% reporting depression. And then finally, feeling like they've been left out of a family function has gone from a 62% to a 43%. So significant impact with arthritis and, of course, on mental health. And so I'd like to share a little bit about ways to increase resilience during tough times. To the most successful clients that I've treated in the last 10 years as a therapist all have one unique thing in common. They have all been able to define what resilience means to them, and creating a definition for resilience helps a person recognize who they are in a positive and strong way. And for me, I've defined my own resilience as an example to everybody here is my ability to weather a storm without giving up, and being able to be happy with the way I handled the storm as it passed. And it's important to kind of ask yourself this question is, how do you define resilience in your life? And going into the second step, which is to write it down. Because once you've identified what your resilience means to you and you've written it down, I recommend taking a picture of that definition and putting it on the back of your screen on your phone, or putting it up on your refrigerator for your family to remember what resilience is. When you look up the definition of resilience, you'll see that it's the outcome of hard times. And it could be a very positive way to know that this fight is worth it. And even better, if you're willing to take a vision board and create something artistic, art is a great way to personally process through difficult times. And going into the third piece is talking about what resilience means to you. As Sheryl Sandberg wrote in her book, Option B, she talks about how to face adversity and build resiliency and finding joy. And she says to not be afraid of addressing the elephant in the room, that when you're feeling anxious and depressed, to speak up about it, and also talk about your resilience and your ability to get through hard times can really help you get in those ruts, but get out of those ruts too. And then the fourth piece here is to remind yourself that it's okay to not be okay. And oftentimes we don't give ourselves that permission. So show up every day, whoever you are and however you are, and acknowledge that human experience. We're not robots. We're not meant to be pre-programmed to act a certain way from 9 to 5 and then be real when we get off work. Like, we need to be that real person during work as well. So it is okay to not be okay, and take breaks and maybe even journal. A person is much more productive when their emotions are acknowledged and handled in a therapeutic way. And suppressing those emotions eventually show up in difficult ways through like conflict or disagreement that we want to try to avoid. And then finally, just embracing therapy and personal development and letting self-awareness and practicing that emotional intelligence are protective factors for the traumatic times of mental health concerns, especially during COVID and whatever else is going on. And it's okay to invest in a program or a therapeutic experience to know that you can learn new skills. Therapy can also help you identify positive coping skills that you already have and learn new ones. And humans are designed to intellectually grow through emotional and mental experiences. So this is seen as an opportunity to learn and not necessarily focusing on all of your problems. So I think those 5 tips could be very helpful